Okay, for this one we are talking IXL D2, solving percent equations. This corresponds with 0.06, the percent proportion for Algebra 1. So we're going to talk about kind of a base ratio or equation that we use when we need to figure out percents. So let's go ahead and show that template first. So we'll get that written out here. We're looking at A over B equals, and then for this variable, we're going to use P over 100, like 100%. So P stands for whatever percent of 100, 100 being the total, and then these will be our other values, such as 50 here. For this one, we're thinking about what percent, so we're missing P right now. We know that B is our total. We know that A is what we are trying to figure out the percent of. So this would be like the total B. 50 would be what we have out of the total. So if we're filling in here, it would look something like this. It would be 50 over, and then the 100. I'll reiterate this. Be careful. This 100 comes from this number, not necessarily 100%, which is constant here. We'll even put that in. Then equals, I don't know what P is, that's what I'm looking for. 100%. Now this is a very simple first example because these two bottom numbers are the same. You can look at this one, I think, and know that P has to be 100 or has to be 50 out of the 100 for this to actually work out. But we'll show you the cross multiplication here. So let's change colors real quick. For cross multiplication, we're going to multiply the kind of, I guess you could say, like lassoed values together. Some people call that butterfly multiplication. But basically what we would end up having is 50 and then times 100. And that's that first loop that I made. And then equals, like an equation, P times 100. And then we're going to solve for P. So you have to know how to solve just a little bit for this. Okay, so first we need to simplify here. 50 times 100, and if I'm not sure off the top of my head, I'd plug that in the calculator and see 5,000. So I'd have 5,000 equals P times 100. And then after that, I need to divide both sides to get P by itself. So right now I'm multiplying by 100, so to get rid of that, I divide by 100. And once I get some touchscreen moving or something like that, it's going to make this go a little bit quicker, but that's all right. So those cancel each other out. I just have P left over equals, and then 5,000 divided by 100. We should know this based on what we just talked about a second ago, but if not, I would plug it in the calculator and see that it is 50. So now that I know that 50 is the missing percent value, I can click in the box there, put in 50, and submit. Awesome. So let's rewind a little bit now. I don't want to lose my original template here. And oh, it won't let me go back any further. This is the new. Okay. We'll just erase it. And finish that off. Okay. Getting set up here. Okay, 60% of something is 15. So we know 60 is the percent we're going to use, so we actually have the p-value this time. So as we set up, maybe it will look something like this. 60 over 100 and then equals 15 is the total. Or sorry, let's reread that. 60% of something, so that would be the total, is 15. So 15, we don't know the total. So that would be, we could call it B. We would cross multiply, or the butterfly multiplication again. So that's 15 and 100. And if we multiply those together, we would get 1,500. And it doesn't matter what side of the equal sign here. An equation works with both sides. So I prefer left, but either way, it works. And then 60 times B. It also doesn't matter if the 60 or the B is in front. Multiplication works both ways. Similar to the last one, because we are multiplying by 60 and we want B by itself, we're going to divide by 60 to get rid of it. But since we're dividing on one side, we have to divide on the other side as well. So I would do that 1,500 divided by 60, and I would see that B equals, and it would be 25. So if I put that answer in, 25, 60% of 25 is 15. That makes sense. If this was a smaller number than 15, that wouldn't really make sense. Like if we ended up with 5, 60% of 5 can't be 15. So that we just kind of have to reason with it a little bit. Okay, let's submit and keep going. Let's take a second to erase here. I didn't even know there was a limit to how many times I could hit that back button. 15 is what percent of 50? So we're looking for a percent again. So we're missing P. You'll never be missing the total percent because it's always going to be 100. So for this one, we'll just kind of talk it out. 15 and 50, neither are percents. We know that 50 is the whole, 15 is the portion of it. So 15 over 50 equals P over 100. Again, we're going to end up cross multiplying. It's going to be kind of the same thing as long as you know which spot or which value goes in what spot. 15 times 100 is 1,500. The 50 would be multiplied by the P, but like the last one with the 60, we would end up dividing by it and getting 30. So that's about all there is to it for this section. I'll double check real quick and make sure that we don't run into anything else crazy. This one throws a dollar amount at you, but it works the same way. 25% would go for P. 25% of 48, so 48 is the total. We would be missing that. We'll do this one, I suppose, and then we will wrap it up for this video. So we would have 25 and 100 on one side. Remember, it doesn't matter if it's the left or the right. 48 is the total. We want 25% of that. So I'm missing A. These are going to multiply together, and these are going to multiply together. Don't mind my lassoing abilities right there. 25 times 48 is 1,200. Equals, and then just 100 times A. We don't know what A is yet, but that's what we're looking for. We want A by itself, so we got to get rid of this 100. The reason we're dividing by it is because currently these two things are attached with multiplication right there. We have to do the operation to both sides, though, to keep everything equal, since this is an equation. So in the end, I'll end up with A equals, and then I'll plug that in and get 12. So 12 is 25% of 48. Awesome. So it uses the same format here every time. You just got to figure out if you're given a percentage or if you're looking for a percentage, if you're given the whole or you're given a part. And that's basically all it is for this one. All right, hopefully it helped. And we'll be looking at, let's flip forward, some measurements. I think perimeter and area and volume coming up. All right, we'll see you guys.